New footage presented by the prosecution linked Melly to the deaths of Sakchasers and Juvy. Melly exited the rap studio first between Portland and Sakchaser Juvy and sat in the rear left seat of the Jeep to get ready, as observed by the recently appointed Judge Fiend. They took this action in an attempt to keep him from receiving a bond, and it worked.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
The direction of the bullets traveling from left to right in the car supports the claim that the shots originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned, according to the official court papers. His existence was even confirmed by Juvy's mother.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother,
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But you didn't know about the prosecutor's clever plan. A no communication order has been filed in the Melly trial, as reported by the media. The injunction requires Melly and Portland to be completely separated to try Portland and Nelly together.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking the penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Because if the prosecution tries them jointly, they can utilize Portland's interrogation from the night of the crime, which shows that he was trying to hide something about the crime.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car, and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway.
Then you took 75 south?
Portland tries to maintain his composure during the questioning, even though the police can tell that his story is untrue.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass, nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we all.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
The grilling just grew more ferocious. The fact that the officers rejected his account infuriated Portland.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even talk about it anymore. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. And we're not trying to piss you off. is
I know,
the thing is we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
When Bortland ends the questioning, as he did, it is the officer's duty to persuade the suspect to continue speaking and provide any information they are able to. Use Bortland's own words against him later. The investigator wants to know what he did during the drive-by.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
The question that put Bortland under pressure was, would you tell me who did this?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be.
Bortland knows that if his body language is in any way odd, the officer will know he is lying and may have reasons to interrogate him further. For this reason, he threw out the interview. The most terrifying part of the case is that if Bortland is given a prison sentence for this murder, he will not hesitate to blame Melly, as Melly's lawyer tried to do at the first trial.
Were his lives. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
They showed that it was Bortland who repeatedly lied to federal investigators and said he had gunpowder in his hands. According to a forensic specialist,
so the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of tar residue and two component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of tar residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was tar residue present on the hands.
as Bortland wrote after Melly was mistrialed, "Mind games don't work on people like me." He hated that Melly's crew had done this to him, so he added a handshake emoji, as though he were accepting a bargain. However, Melly also has to cope with his ex-girlfriend coming home after she vanished during the first trial, where she was supposed to testify, and was later found by the federal government.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Mariah is expected to testify in the Melly trial as part of the release arrangement, and she is rumored to have communicated with Melly the night of the crime. so any information she can provide might be extremely beneficial to the Fed's investigation. But Mariah wrote on Facebook after being let free, "I am grateful to my village. I adore all of you. Not my plan, but God's." Unsettling evidence that Melly had forced Mariah to not testify at trial, a tactic known as witness tampering, was found in her iCloud account. Melly still faces a life sentence, even if she were to remove Sakchaser and Juvy.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The strangest part, though, is that Melly has been isolated from jail phones and any social contact for about a year after his mother mentioned how awful things had gotten.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
His initial mistrial may have resulted from Melly's use of the jail phone to interfere with witnesses, which is the main reason he was denied such privileges. But for Melly, he has one more chance to be bond before his trial in September. Melly's legal team recommended posting an undisclosed bail while he was writing, which his record label 300 Entertainment would pay. They assured the judge that Melly would be placed under house arrest, have security on duty around the clock, and wear an ankle monitor if bond was approved. "That boy Melly's coming home, I feel it," a rapper wrote, because it was that incredible. This was something Melly's mother would share on Instagram Live.
We just still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
They're trying to get Melly out of jail because he's not being treated humanely, which is illegal.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
They then showed that Melly was seen racing down a street and hiding in a bush during the commission of the crime using GPS data from the first trial.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sak and Juvy? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Furthermore, Melly's defense team noted that no firearm was ever found during the incident, which raised the possibility that a drive-by was the cause.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.